Minnows.
Yes, Ryan is for your Sharks and Minnows.
That doesn't sound like a good
I'm just saying.
Tonight's message. So
And this week, we're taking it back with John 1. Jesus is still amassing his boys. He's still getting his crew together. He's still finding his people. And this time, we're talking about Philip and Nathaniel. We're talking about Philip and Nathaniel. And the whole premise of this call, the whole call of it, is that Jesus hears you. Jesus hears you, just like we hear whatever was going on in the back, so that you can hear Jesus. We all want to be heard, right? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be really transparent about one of my biggest fears in life, all right? I have this nightmare that I'm home alone. There's my parents are gone, my siblings are gone. In this situation, like Casey's gone, I'm home alone. I go to the bathroom and I run out of toilet paper. Like, this is a deep, deep fear because it doesn't matter how much I yell. It doesn't matter what else is going on, how much I scream. There is no one in the house to get me that roll of toilet paper, right? Like, this is a serious fear of mine. Like, I'm going to be in like a public restroom and I'm going to have to like ask the person in the stall next to me, like, hey, I need toilet paper. Like, can you imagine how awful that is? Right? We all want to be heard. That's why we all have cell phones, right? This is like the whole premise for cell phones is that what if something happens and I need to call my mom or dad or I need to call 911? How am I going to be heard if I don't have my phone on me? How many of y'all know like silent discos, right? You're familiar with the premise of the silent disco? If you're not, basically, it's a disco, like it's a dance party, but everyone wears their own individual headphones so that you can hear only the music that you want to. So everyone's listening to different stuff, and everyone's dancing. I'm not really a big fan of the dancing part, but I worked at a summer camp where instead we decided to play this game called Kill Ball. Have you ever heard of Kill Ball? Oh, we're going to play it later. The premise of Kill Ball is that you spike a volleyball on someone seated on the ground as hard as possible. Like, it's a violent game. The goal is to get someone, like, not concussed, but, like, injured. You know, like, that's the fun of it. But when you're playing it during a silent disco, it gets really dangerous. Because they can't hear all of us screaming, look out. The guy behind you is about to take your head off. Like, he's about to kill you. So I literally watched, like, 3 middle school girls get concussed. Like, nosebleeds, all of it. It was bad. Simply because they couldn't hear. Simply because they couldn't hear, they couldn't see the person behind them, and they just had to sit there. Point is, we all want to be heard. We all want to be heard. And that's where we find Philip. And that's where we find Nathaniel. In 1 John chapter 1, or John chapter 1, verses 43 to 46. I'm going to read it real quick. It says, "The next day Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. Finding Philip, he said to him, 'Follow me.' Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethsaida. Philip found Nathanael and told him, 'We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth.' 'Nazareth? Can anything good come from there?' Nathanael asked. 'Come and see,' said Philip." All right, so Philip gets called in like the most ordinary way possible. It's the exact same story of what happened with Andrew and Peter. Is Jesus says, "I see you, I hear you, come follow me." And Philip drops everything and follows Jesus. Simple as that. But Philip does the right thing, and he has a best friend. His best friend is Nathanael, and he says, "Nathanael, you need to show up to. You need to come with me." And that's what we preach here all the time. Is if you're showing up to church alone and you haven't told your friends about church, you haven't told your friends about Jesus, they don't know that you're a Christian, that's what the whole gospel is about. It's all about you bringing the people around you, you bringing your friends, so that they get to experience Jesus as well, so they can come and see how good God is. So Philip calls Nathanael, but he doesn't just call Nathanael. He doesn't just say like, "Hey, show up." He uses language that Nathanael would understand. You see, Nathanael's a smart guy. He says, "Hey, all of the prophecies that you've been reading, all of the Old Testament stuff about Moses, that's all coming true." So you see, Philip is actively trying to tear down the walls that Nathanael has been building up. He's trying to reach him on common ground. But Nathanael, he's got his arms. He's kind of, like pushing people back, and he says, "Nazareth? Can anything good come from Nazareth?" Nazareth and Bethsaida were probably like rival cities. Like if you guys go to like Fairview, and your rival is Boulder or Monarch or wherever it is, like the city that you're like, we don't associate. If you're going to like Casey Middle School, I don't know, maybe it's like Centennial. You're like, no, we don't associate with that. So that's kind of the vibe that we get. And so while Philip is trying to tear down all the walls, Nathanael has his arms out. He's like, "I'm not so sure about this yet. I'm not ready to take that at face value." So Philip does the right thing again and says, "Let's let Jesus do the talking for himself. We'll let Jesus explain." Which brings us to verse 47. Verse 47 to 49. It says, "When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said to him, 'Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit.' 'How do you know?' Nathanael asked. Jesus answered, 'I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you.' Then Nathanael declared, 'Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel.'" So, we find ourselves still looking at Nathanael, right? Nathanael walks up to Jesus. He's a smart guy. He's still skeptical. And Jesus is now trying to break down his walls. He says, "This is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." Now, if you were a Jew at the time, just like Nathanael was, this is as high a compliment as you can possibly be paid. Like calling him like a true Israelite. Like everything that you stand for is good. Jesus is trying to tear down these walls as much as he can. But Nathanael, right, he keeps putting them up. He's like, you don't know me. Like, you have no idea who you're talking about. Like, you don't know if I'm actually a true Israelite or not. So Jesus doubles down and says, "I saw you under the fig tree." Now, again, to us, like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, you're like, "Oh, cool. We're talking about trees now." But in ancient first century Jerusalem, what this probably meant was it was a prayer. Like, this was a prayer. It was common practice for Jews to put a fig tree in their front yard, and that was a symbol that they would go out under and pray and meditate and read their scriptures. So what Jesus is saying is, while you're praying under the fig tree, I see you do that, and all of those prayers go to me. I am the Son of God. I am the one that you have actually been praying to. In short, Nathanael is seeking the Lord, and Jesus is saying, I am the one you've been seeking. We'll take a brief pause in the story, and I want to just say that, like, whenever we pray, whenever we ask God for something, my guess is it's truly an ask. Is we have a situation in our life that we're praising and we're thankful that it changed, Or we have a situation that we want to see changed, right? We have a situation that we don't like. We have a scenario going on, maybe it's at school. And we're asking God, like, please send me the right group of friends. I can't do this anymore. Maybe it has something to do with grades or sports, and you're like, God, I need some help. I need someone over here. Maybe it's at home with your family and you're praying for your mom or dad. You're praying for your sisters, your brothers, whoever it is around you, and you're like, God, I need this to happen. And time again, it doesn't happen. Right? Like, my guess is that in each one of your life, like, I don't know the scenario, but there is something that you could probably think of that you are praying for that hasn't come true yet. Maybe it is a family member. Maybe it is school. Maybe it's something super serious like your mental health, and you're like, I need God to answer this prayer for me to feel whole, for me to feel good, but He hasn't answered it yet, and I'm wondering why. Like, I'm sitting under this fig tree day in and day out, and we don't know what the thing was talking about, but we can assume probably was something pretty serious. It was probably something that he actually wanted to have changed, and he's looking at Jesus and saying, like, if you're going to answer all my prayers, then, like, if you hear all of my prayers, then why aren't you answering? And that's where Jesus is. If you can hear all of my prayers, if you're constantly trying to hear me, why aren't you answering? Which is then where Jesus in verse 50 and 51, Jesus says, you believe because I told you I saw you under a fig tree. You will see greater things than this. He then added, very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. What Jesus is saying is that I haven't answered your prayer because the story isn't over. He's saying, I hear your prayers, I see you, but what I need from you is more than just a prayer. I need you to stand up and follow me. He's saying, hey, you believe me because I told you what you did last week. But I'm going to tell you, you have no idea what I'm going to do in the weeks prior. Next week, tomorrow. He's like, I have the greatest things in mind for you. You just have to stand up and follow me. I know what you're thinking is like, Andrew, but like, he hasn't answered my prayers. He hasn't done what I need him to do. I'm saying he just needs you to listen to it first. If you can truly listen to him, he will make so much peace in your life. He will make so many incredible, remarkable situations that you wouldn't believe. And if he just answers your prayer, if he just like heals the sickness at once, your faith can only get as deep as that sickness was. If he just answers the situation and gives you the right friends, the moment anything goes sideways with those friends, that's where your faith goes. What Jesus is trying to do is build this courage, build this longevity inside of you that nothing can wreck. He just is saying, hey, I hear you. I hear every one of your cries. I know all of your situations. I just need you to keep following me. I just need you to keep taking one foot in front of the other. I need you to listen to me. If you have no idea what I'm talking about whenever I say you need to listen to Jesus, it's as simple as praying. It's as simple as reading John every day with us and talking to your friends and talking to your leaders about it. It's as simple as just texting people whenever you need some help, you need some prayer, and letting other people into those problems, to those situations. Your leaders are here, Casey and I are here so that we can help guide you guys, so that we can help show you. This is what leaning in and listening to God is all about. So we're going to go to smaller groups, but I want you to be thinking about, are you listening to Jesus? And if so, what is he saying? Where is he having you go? Because we love you guys, and if you're fighting to be heard, we just want you to lean in and listen. Would y'all pray with me?